number 20 midfielder Matt Dolman. In jersey number 23 midfielder Anthony Obadai. Number 13 is forward Joseph Wenya. And in jersey number 18 forward Jose Angelo.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Highmark Stadium for this game with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the Orlando.
At this time, please rise for our national anthem,
Please pause while
sung for us this evening by Ida Ozdongalar.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Evening, everyone, and welcome to Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this USL matchup with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Orlando City. Looking forward to a great matchup here this evening. A little cool and cloudy, overcast night at Highmark Stadium right here on the rivers at Pittsburgh, looking at the downtown section of the city of Pittsburgh. Should be a great match. We have two clubs, though, at the opposite end of the table. Currently, right now, the Riverhounds are winless, but have with 2 losses and 3 ties for 5 points. And Orlando City, on the other hand, is undefeated with 5 wins and 2 ties. One of those ties, however, was with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, as the Riverhounds in Orlando opened up the USL season in Orlando and battled to a 1-1 draw. So we expect an equal contest tonight, where both sides are going to be really pushing for points. Orlando coming off a win at Oklahoma City Energy with a 3-1 win at ESPN Wide World of Sports. The Riverhounds' last match goes back to April 26, where they battled the Charleston Battery to a 0-0 tie. So we do expect a very even matchup, and looking forward to this one here tonight. Orlando, of course, has been really the standard bearer for USL the last couple of years, and are currently, I'm sure, looking to win it again for the 2013 season before they make their move to Major League Soccer next year. So they are in the middle of all those preparations, as well as trying to win the USL on top. The Riverhounds, on the other hand, are battling to get back up into the thick of things, and certainly a win here tonight would put the Riverhounds right back into the heat of things, because it's still very, very early in the season, and I think everybody for the Riverhounds believes that they have a quality side, and a side that can battle with Orlando or anyone else in the league. There we go. As we kick off, the Riverhounds in gold, going left to right. Orlando City in their traditional purple, going right to left. For the lineups this evening, for Orlando City will be Miguel Gallardo in the goal, with Tyler Turner, Brad Rusin, Luke Bowden, and Rob Valentino in the back. Anthony Poulos, Adam Gemgu and Jordani Alvarez and Darwin Seren are in the midfield with Dennis Chin and Kevin Molino, a very formidable duo up top. Both of them checking in with 4 goals on the season. For the Riverhounds, a few changes from the last couple games. The Riverhounds will be without a very important dynamo connector as the Orlando City plays it over the end line. A very terrific contributor the last couple games, and that will be Anthony Arena, who was recalled back to Houston. They're having some injury issues there, and so we will be without Anthony tonight. But no problem for the Riverhounds, as they're going to insert their veteran center back Sterling Flunder and Andrew Marshall, along with Mike Green and Danny Earls playing the fullbacks on the outside. Also for the Riverhounds, look for a midfield of Anthony Obadai, Joseph Nguyen, and Kevin Kerr in the center, with Robbie Vincent and Matty Dahlman out wide. And last year's 2013 USL MVP, Jose Angulo, will be up top. And Jose checking in for the first time in a couple weeks due to a family loss, and we'll welcome Jose back, and it's good to see him back in the fold. So, again, both teams certainly would love to get out of here this weekend with a win. The Riverhounds have been off for 2 weeks, as we said the last time, the last game here at Highmark on April the 22nd against the Charleston Battery. For Orlando City, they are will have to travel to Rochester tomorrow. And here's a ball delivered into Andrew Marshall, who collects it and brings it out to find Anthony Obadai. So for Orlando City, they're going to certainly be using a few players, I would think, and would love to get off this back-to-back these back-to-back games with a good 3 points here. And the Riverhounds certainly want to make sure that they can bump Orlando from the ranks of the undefeated, and more importantly for the Hounds, pick up their first win of the year. Orlando building from the back. Looks like Orlando pretty much in 4-4-2. And as they start out here with Brad Rusin, who is going to look for Dennis Chin. That's knocked away. And that ball's knocked up to Jose Angulo. And back to Gallardo, one of the top goalkeepers in the league for the last several years. And Gallardo will be distributes out to Rusin out here on the left side. Or excuse me. Yeah, Luke Bowden. I apologize. As we see Darwin Seren winning that one down in the corner. And that will be a battle with Dennis Chin. Mike Green is going to knock it out too. And as the Riverhounds try to build, coming out of the back, trying to come through the midfield with Kevin Kerr, Robbie Vincent exchanging spots there. Danny Earls coming up the left side, and the Hounds build it out nicely to Joseph Nguyen up high. Jose Angulo trying to stretch a little bit and put some pressure on the back four for Orlando City. Foul for the Riverhounds against Orlando City, and it appears that Matty Dahlman, last year's league leader in assists, will step up to take this one. Dahlman surely is going to try to find some of the, Nguyen or Kerr, and Angulo as he whips a dangerous in-swing. Oh! Great flick by Joseph Nguyen. Terrific service from Matty Dahlman, and a terrific save from Gallardo as that ball flicked off. So again, Matty Dahlman very, very dangerous on any set piece, and he's going to get another opportunity here with the corner kick, trying to whip in another dangerous in-swinger. Probably looking again for Nguyen and also for Angulo. Mike Green, Robbie Vincent up, and here's this one a little bit too strong that is going to go over for a goal kick right before the corner. So first opportunity in the 5th minute to the Riverhounds. Gilardo with a very alert save, almost caught off his line, but recovered quickly to show some good feet to get back on that one, as Orlando's going to come out, and there's a whistle, and they're going to replay this one. So again, Rusin, Bowden in the back, along with Valentino and Turner, as they try to find Dennis Chin, checking in on the year with 4 goals. Orlando, broken up by Obadiah, but he's going to be whistled for the foul at midfield. And Adama, as Orlando builds up, tries to find Molino, leading scorer for Orlando City, and he almost gets out of trouble, but that's going to be won by the Riverhounds, and that no call. The Gwendolyn wants a call there. Orlando's going to knock it back, and they're going to play into Mabengu, over to Bowden, and again Dennis Chin very active. Re-won by Orlando and knocked away by Andrew Marshall to relieve the pressure. The Hounds will step it out. So a lot of familiar faces. Again, the Riverhounds without their dynamo connection with Arena, but they still have one left with Michael Lish, who remains in the goal. Hunter Gilstrap, of course, was really severely injured in that first game, that 1-1 draw with Orlando, suffering a broken cheekbone and a pretty severe concussion. Hunter is back, and he is dressed tonight, and he's making his way back into the lineup, but Michael Lish has been superb in the goal, stepping in Hunter's absence. Here's a long one in, and that's going to be cleared away by Andrew Marshall. Matty Dahlman gets another touch. Bowden recovers for Orlando to Brad Rusin. He's going to find Molino, or excuse me, Jordani Alvarez. Over to Darwin Seren, and that is easily picked off by Robbie Vincent. Surges forward with that one. Good ball back to Kevin Kerr. Kevin does well to knock that back in the Hounds with Flunder to Anthony Obadiah. So the Hounds building coming out. Kerr into Robbie Vincent. Plays a nice one through. Danny Earls coming up and cleared away by Orlando City, but it's going to be a goal kick. Looks like that must have been off Jose Angulo. So good attack there from the Riverhounds, good patience coming out of the back. And resulted in an opportunity in the area that was put over the end line for a goal kick. So Orlando, again, looking for a long one in to Dennis Chin. They find him in the corner. He has a battle going on with Sterling Flunder. And the flag is up on the far side for offside, as Bengu tried to sneak in there from the center midfield and was blown offside, so well organized by the Riverhounds. And here's Obadiah trying to work it out and does a great job to find Robbie Vincent wide and over to Matty Dahlman. Dahlman back to Robbie Vincent, who's come in from the outside, the opposite outside midfield spot. Obadiah swings it way wide to Danny Earls. Back to Obadiah, who's seen a lot of the ball so far here early in the match, to Mike Green, and again back to Obadiah. So, and finally he frees Danny Earls. Great ball by Obadiah to get forward. He has Nguyen and Angulo into the box, but that one's going to come a little bit strong, and Orlando will let it go out for a throw-in. So throw in for Orlando City. Luke Bowden takes that and gets it back and knocks it up to Chin, where the two number 15s, Marshall and Chin, will go at it. Marshall tries to turn that up. He does. That's won by Bowden. Marshall again with the clearance. Right now a little head tennis going on. And that's brought down by Seren and one harmlessly over the end line. So goal kick for Michael Ish coming out. Orlando, as we said, checking in during the season. So far, they're 5 wins, 2 losses. The Hounds looking for the first wins, but just 2 losses, 3 draws on the year, and have been very impressive games. Had a very unlucky, unfortunate loss with the Wilmington Hammerheads at our home at the home opener, and as I said, a draw with Orlando, which shows when this team is at full strength. You know, they are going to be a team to watch, and also the Hounds coming off of a few injuries and still have a suspension to Colin Johns. He has 1 more game left to serve, which will be this one, and we expect to be back in the lineup soon. Open Cup games coming up this week. There's a long service over to Nguyen, but that's going to be cleared away by Rob Valentino for Orlando City. And so far, both teams trying to find themselves, trying to get a little bit of rhythm. The ball in the air probably a lot more than neither want. The Hounds, when they have been able to keep it on the ground, as we try to serve a long one over to Matty Dahlman. One thing that Robbie Vincent has been superb at the last 2 years, but that is picked off by Bowden for Orlando. And here's Rusin, as Jose Angulo chases. Be interesting tonight to see Jose has been who had really 2 weeks off due to some family issues. I don't think he'll be at 100% fitness, but I'm sure Justin Evans wants to get as many minutes as he can. Here's Orlando coming forward. There's a little bit of a rollback, recovered nicely from Danny Earls, and cleared away by Sterling Flunder. So very impressive there between I think Molino, Begenu, and Chin, and there's a high one to Michael Ish. He handles without any difficulties. But I don't think anyone for the Riverhounds believe that they're going to stay very long where they're at on the table. There's a lot of confidence in the team. A lot of very good spirits. The players are all up, and certainly looking forward to this game tonight to get into the win table. And I don't think it would matter who they're playing tonight. They're very determined to get a little run of their own going here, and perhaps end Orlando's streak. Robbie Vincent on the ball to Flunder. He's going to play that out wide to Marshall. He's going to be closed down by Jordani Alvarez. Recovered nicely. Chin is going to play a good ball. And goal! And it appears that is a goal for Orlando City, and a good combination. We're looking for a little bit of a handball, but a great rollback for that. And here's the replay again as we see that. And I believe that was Alvarez who puts over the head of Mike Lish, who puts his hand up for handball. We thought that ball played, but Alvarez chested it down very nicely.
For the Orlando City Lions by number 10, Jordani Alvarez.
So Jordani Alvarez, good combination from Orlando. Caught the Hounds just a little bit stretched at that particular time period, and Alvarez came through very, very nicely from the midfield. We've seen him do that already a couple times here. So in the 15th minute, Orlando City takes a 1-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Let's see if the Hounds can get back into it. And certainly that's something that I think Orlando, playing 2 difficult games in a row on the road, and of course we'll have to get in a bus and go to Rochester. That's something that they would always want, is to get that early goal. The Hounds, on the other hand, did not want to see that, but there's enough quality on this field to see them bounce back. So the Hounds still building. And foul whistled against Orlando City. And it looks like Dahlman will take the kick for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And I believe that was Poulos who was whistled for the foul here. Whips that one in. Oh, double header there and off the roof of the goal as that Jose Angola got a piece off that one. And I don't know if Marshall got a second touch on that. Again, another dangerous serve from Matt Dahlman. Angulo to Marshall. And I think Marshall might have been offside on that one if that would have been allowed, but it goes off for a goal kick. So Orlando building. They find Seren. 17th minute, Orlando City over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 1-0.
Stop by the Pepsi guest service tent to receive your entry into our Nemacolin Getaway Raffle.
And no call. No, the whistle does blow.
Stay at Nemacolin, including breakfast each morning.
A foul on the far side.
Golf on Mystic Rock.
Got to get one of the balls out of play right now. And Orlando will back it up. To Rob Valentino, veteran player for Orlando City. And that will, again, be an Orlando City throw-in. Danny Earls tries to find Joseph Nguyen. Alvarez sneaks in front of him. To Poulos, well over to Luke Bowden. And then that ball's going to go out of bounds. And Bengu and trying to organize his midfield. Bowden steps up to win that over Jose Angulo. And a long one back. Andrew Marshall, we have to deal with that. Bit of a battle. Oh, not a great clearance into Magenu. He's going to have a go, but could not get it, that one around a little bit and just far wide of Michaelish goal to his left. Just couldn't bend that bit back in, Bengu. So Adama Bengu been very, very active in the midfield. He, along with your Danny Alvarez, have been very creative as they push forward and try to find Molino and Chin up top. But a lot of superb running off the ball for Orlando right now, giving the Hounds a little bit of trouble as they try to sort that out. Orlando picking up a little bit more of the rhythm. There's a good interception by Joseph Nguyen. Kevin Kerr tries to go forward, and there's a foul against Orlando. Orlando dropping everybody back. And this will be taken, looks by Danny Earls. He's just going to swing it over to Andrew Marshall, who trying to see what he sees up front. Jose Angulo check, and Nguyen goes in behind. That's cleared away by Orlando. Again, Bowden, the left peg, plays to Dennis Chin. Over to Seren. There it goes to the goal scorer, Alvarez. He goes wide. Again, good movement all the way over to Magenu. He's going to have a go with the left, but can't really catch that one well. A little bit difficult ball. But again, pretty good combinations on the part of Orlando. Playing through the midfield, playing very quickly through the midfield. And again, Bengu just, that ball just a little bit wide. You can see it just going off the left side of his boot. Couldn't catch that cleanly through the laces and really couldn't get over. Difficult one to hit, though. There's a good win over by Brad Rusin over Angola, but the Riverhounds win a knockdown with Mike Green. Andrew Marshall swings it to Danny Earls. Danny Earls, of course, first year with the Riverhounds, coming over from the Rochester Raging Rhinos. That's where Orlando will be tomorrow night. As Marshall looks to try to find someone, finds Nguyen, has to check back. He is, again, a good battle with Bengu, and and there's Obadiah. And that's going to go out of bounds for Orlando City. And Seren is going to drop that one off to Bowden. He's going to take it. Orlando all of a sudden has taken Anthony Obadiah a little bit out of the game. We're seeing a lot of the ball there the first 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and the last few he has struggled for some touches. Just how the game has gone so far. I don't think they're doing anything special, but it's been a little bit more difficult for him to find the ball. And I think the Riverhounds are going to need Anthony to control things a little bit in the midfield, keep the play moving, and circulate the ball as much as he possibly can through the midfield to get our outside people, our flank players into it, pushing Robbie Vincent, pushing Matty Dahlman forward, open that up for Mike Green and Danny Earls, who are very capable from the outside back. This ball is a free kick that is blocked by Orlando. Matty Dahlman doesn't have that happen too often. And cleared away from Orlando. Here's a big battle with Andrew Marshall, and he's going to tuck that one up the field. A good battle, good chase by Dennis Chin for Orlando. 22nd minute. Orlando over the Riverhounds. Orlando City 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0 at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A little overcast Friday night. A lot going on in the city of Pittsburgh. We have a Pirate game and we have a Penguin playoff game going on. But we still have a real good crowd here this evening who have turned out to see a superb game of soccer with the defending league champs Orlando City. As a pretty good little combination there with Bowden and Seren, but it ends up going out of bounds, and that will Bowden will pick it up and throw it in for Orlando City. And there's a bit of a go by Seren. I know he's going to get a corner kick out of that. That's going to deflect off of Mike Green, I believe. As we see the replay, Seren just has a go. And Greeny just tries to duck out of the way, but it looks like it hits his shoulder. Corner kick coming up for Orlando City. Looks like Anthony Poulos is going to take that for Orlando City. And there's a good one. Valentino up, but he's going to head that right to Mike Lish. So big Rob Valentino, always dangerous in the air for Orlando City. They push him into the box. And they do get a header out of it, but easily handled by Mike Lish, and the Riverhounds come our way, going left to right again in all gold tonight as well, and Orlando in the purple and white. There's Anthony Obadiah trying to find some space to try to find something, but Alvarez again very tightly on Obadiah. They do not want to allow Obadiah to build through the midfield, as we saw a little bit early on, and so Adrian Heath probably has barked a couple orders from the bench, and they've stepped up a little bit higher on Anthony and forcing the Riverhounds to swing it out wide, which they do there nicely. Real good combination with Robbie Vincent and Danny Earls. Earls surges forward from the left back. He's finally stopped. He's going to swing it back to Sterling Flunder, and now Anthony Obadiah has a little bit of space. And good entry ball into Matty Dahlman. Flick to Jose Anguilla, but a foul on Matty Dahlman, I think, by Poulos. And then there was another pretty hard collision there with Jose Anguilla, but I believe he was Rob Valentino sent Jose flying to the ground. But I think he's calling the first one against Dahlman. Yes, he's forcing to bring it back a little bit. Matty Dahlman has been very, very dangerous with these serves, whipping in with a lot of pace, trying to find, I'm sure he'll be looking for Joseph Nguyen, who had been tussling there a little bit with Valentino. Oh, and there's a clearance. Nguyen and Valentino again went down. They were in the middle of a battle, both handling each other. I thought a little bit of tug by Valentino, but nothing for the referee, and it comes back out to the Riverhounds, who they get the clearance, they get the ball. So here's Michael Lish swinging it out to Matty Dahlman, trying to get something going for the Riverhounds. A little too slow, and that's shut down by Chin for Orlando City. Mike Green tosses back to Andrew Marshall. Orlando trying, very, very comfortable holding their lines at midfield, allowing the Riverhounds to swing it a little bit in the back, but certainly tighten it up once the Hounds get into midfield. As we said before, Anthony Obadiah has been forced to go deeper and deeper to find the ball, but anytime he was in midfield, it's been a little bit difficult for him. Now he has a little bit of space against Dennis Chin, looking to swing it wide, and finally does get it over to the left side to Danny Earls, who finds Rob Vincent again. Good entry ball to Jose Angulo. The Riverhounds building, has some people moving forward. Great little touch from Dahlman, trying to find Robbie Vincent, moving through. And that's the kind of mobility that I think Justin Evans, head coach of the team, where he's getting a lot of movement from all of his midfielders and a lot of people moving off the ball. As well organized as an Orlando team is, I don't think that they're going to break them down without some consistent movement. There's an entry ball from Marshall to Dahlman, who tries to flick out wide here to Mike Green, but that's going to go out of touch, and Bowden will play that in. He's pushed out by Kevin Kerr, and Bowden again picks it up for Orlando. Joseph Nguyen brings it down, the former Richmond kicker, and there's Robbie Vincent having to go from about 30 yards out, but that one's way high over. He couldn't get down on that one, and that goes into the Steel Army crowd, who politely puts that ball back onto the field for Miguel Gallardo. And Brad Rusin will find Poulos, who is going to find Seren, as Orlando tries to build and tries to provide a little bit of rhythm and see how they're going to do. Orlando City seems content again to possess there through the midfield. That's not a good one there from Seren. That's going to be intercepted by Matty Dahlman. He's going to find Nguyen. Valentino's going to win that. Oh, and the call against Rob Valentino on a foul against Joseph Nguyen, and the Riverhounds will have a very, very dangerous opportunity right in the D, right outside the 18. So we'll see what happens with this one. So we'll see what happens here with, looks like Matty Dahlman, Jose Angulo are lining up to take this one. It was a good entry ball. Valentino came across. Difficult to see whether or not he got the ball first, but certainly Joseph went flying after that call. So the Hounds are going to pick this up just inside the D, just inside the semicircle. And like I said, this, to me, with the left peg, this looks like prime Jose Angulo territory. So we'll see what last year's MVP can do with this. He and Dahlman, two of the key players for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, are going to line up. As there's some scrambling going on with the Orlando City wall. Looks like Andrew Marshall. Referee has a word. Gallardo's trying to adjust his wall a little bit, screaming to them. Get some sort of adjustment in there as they move a little bit to his left. And Dahlman and Angulo lining it up for the Riverhounds. Key moment here in this game. Both of them range for both. It looks like Jose, blasts it into the wall. Tries to do a little spin to get out of there. Matty Dahlman tries to find something, and that's going to be, I think the flag was up. Joseph Nguyen would have been offsides no matter what would have happened there. Again, not the best effort from Jose. You could tell maybe a little bit rusty with a little bit of time off, because normally he's very, very dangerous in those particular positions, and we saw him bury a few like that during the 2013 season. So, again, Orlando City 1, Pittsburgh 0, as we see Bengu knocked that one out of bounds, and the Riverhounds are going to retain possession, but he wins it right back, tries to play forward to Dennis Chin, who's been very, very active here in the first half, really chasing everything down, putting a lot of pressure on our two center backs, Sterling Flunder and Andrew Marshall, as they build out to Marshall, and he's going to serve a long one to Nguyen, and that's going to be cleared away by Big Brad Rusin in the center of the park for Orlando City. Those two, he and Valentino, have been very, very strong thus far for Orlando City, and of course for the entire year, really, for them. So again, we'll see Orlando City is going to allow their point of confrontation pretty much across midfield, and as a long ball to Vincent. And try to play one touch into Jose Angulo. Not quite there. A little bit, but a pretty good opportunity. Not a bad idea from first minute. 1-0 Orlando City over the Riverhounds. Closed down again by Jose Angulo. Sterling Flunder looking, and there goes Adama Bengu as he chases all the way to Michael Lish. And there's a bit of a bump, no call. As we saw Tyler Turner and Robbie Vincent, two number 2s going at it. And this time there is a foul. And it looks like Obadiah will have a battle there with Kevin Molino. Molino again comes in with 4 goals, 4 assists for the season. But so far during this game, he struggled to find some space and really probably hasn't as many touches as Orlando City would want. But he's always looking to get in dangerous spots. So here's a free kick for by Bengu, and he swerves that one in. Oh, and a pretty good opportunity off the second touch. Great battle there with Andrew Marshall. So you're watching this USL contest at Highmark Stadium on USL Pro. This is USL Pro on YouTube. Every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Riverhounds YouTube channel today. As we see the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the 33rd minute here with Orlando City at USL Pro Soccer. So also check out uslprosoccer.com for scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on uslprosoccer.com, as we're in this really tight USL contest right now, USL Pro contest between Orlando City and the Riverhounds. And there's a pretty big battle. Joseph Obadiah did not like being bumped twice there by Darwin Seren, and served by Matty Dolman. Finds his favorite target, Jose Angulo. Does some wheeling and dealing. Serves it across. Oh, well defended by Orlando. But again, that Riverhounds look very dangerous, and Nguyen wins that right back from Seren as Orlando survived a couple of pretty good opportunities there. Dahlman and Angulo, we've seen them hook up so many times in the past, and they did well there, and Jose looked very sharp, bringing that down in traffic, turning on Brad Rusin and getting a little rollback before he's cleared away by Orlando City. As Andrew Marshall finds Mike Green, he's coming forward, looking for someone. He finds Jose. All right. Good battle there. Jose gets out of trouble, turns and goes, and that's a little bit more what we want to see from Jose Angulo, who's never shy about putting it on frame. As he turned with that one on the left foot, got away from a couple defenders and found some space for himself to get the turn. But Orlando coming out after Gilardo makes the save. And here's Dennis Chin, who's been very active this first half for Orlando City. He's going to find it wide for Alvarez, Donnie Alvarez, the goal scorer. All right, 1-0 again, Orlando. Hounds sitting back a little bit of space for Orlando City now, as the Hounds try to get organized. And played in, and looks like corner kick for Orlando, as that one was played off, I believe, by Andrew Marshall. And there's Darwin Seren leaves that for Anthony Poulos. And I'm sure we're going to see Big Valentino, Rob Valentino coming up, Rusin coming up. So the two center backs. There's one in, brought down, good scramble, cleared away by Robbie Vincent, as that one was knocked away. .36-minute coming up for this USL Pro contest. Jose Angula trying to make something out of nothing and almost does. Very, very close there, right inside the box. Referee waves it off, says nothing. And Jose almost pulled a rabbit out of the hat with that one. Some great spin move, very active, great feet, and Orlando wins that. I believe Turner wins that for Orlando City. I was trying to establish a bit of rhythm, trying to get some control. Long one to Joseph Nguyen by Kevin Kerr. And Ogola is going to pop that one way over top. So again, Jose looking to shoot, never shy for that.
It's time for the Doubletree by Hilton. Cookie
And the referee has
it's Doubletree by Hilton.
is having
Adds up to a
I think their battles maybe got a little bit
a warm chocolate chip cookie. And
too
tonight's
extracurricular
winning
for him.
Is section 106.
So Miguel Gilardo will
D
play the
as
goal
in
kick,
David,
and he's going to knock it
106.
all the way over to Rob
D.
Valentino, who finds Seren, back to Valentino, and he's going to look long for Dennis Chin, who's been doing an enormous amount of running for them. And Orlando will open it up, try to push their outside backs up a little bit high. That is Alvarez. Back to Valentino. The Hounds are coming out of this a little bit. Jose Angula chases, not with a lot of commitment though. And Gilardo reads that and plays that one. And I think he's a little upset that, he thought that should have been kept by Orlando City, and it's won back by the Riverhounds. You can visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro and follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates of not only this game but all the games that are being played in USL Pro this evening. As the Riverhounds still continue to build. Arizona is at Richmond today. That is that's the other game that's playing at Richmond at City Stadium. So that game is currently on. Arizona will then have to go to Harrisburg tomorrow. So we see a lot of back-to-backs coming from the teams, from the away teams coming up here to the east. LA Galaxy 2 is at the Dayton Dutch Lions, and Wilmington is at Charleston. Orange County Blues, the old LA Blues, are at Oklahoma Energy. So 5 games tomorrow at USL Pro. With the 2 games tonight, and again Orlando and Arizona both being playing back to back. And here's a long one that Mike Lish is going to easily pick up. Sterling Flunder moving it forward for the Riverhounds. He finds Danny Earls, trying to find someone. Kevin Kerr checks, can't make the turn, has to play back. Orlando very well organized. Again, very content to let the Hounds have the ball in those particular spaces from about 35, 40 out. For Obadiah, for the Kerr, to really get a turn and find anything forward as we see them going square again. And they're having a hard time finding any entry passes in to Nguyen and to Jose Angula. Now we see Matty Dahlman really coming a little bit forward to try to force the defenders to make some decisions as Mike Green comes up. And there's a foul that's going to be called, I guess, against Orlando. Luke Bowden is not real happy with it. But the linesman will put his flag up, and Matty Dahlman will have another free kick for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The referee having a little chat with Bengue. As Dahlman again, he's looking for Nguyen. Actually has the inside track on Valentino. There's one over to Andrew Marshall, who's been so dangerous for us on these set pieces. Great hustle there from Marsh, but it's I believe the flag went up. So Orlando will play it out. Nike's a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And again, you're watching this USL Pro contest on YouTube between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Orlando City. Orlando City 1-0 as we approach the 42nd minute. So Rusin finds NU. Here's Chen. There's a long one through. Michaelis is quickly off his line to deal with that one, as it looked like he was looking for Seren on the far side. Long ball for Nguyen. That's going to be a foot race with Rob Valentino. Nguyen win. Oh, and Gilardo is going to take that one. A little bit of confusion, but I think they had it under control. Looked like Valentino was waiting for Gilardo to come through, and he did came through just a tad late. Veteran backline, veteran goalkeeper. It will be interesting how many of these players are going to be on the side next year when Orlando makes it to moves up to Major League Soccer, and certainly we'll be following them and hoping them for all the success in the world in MLS, but not tonight. We want to see the Riverhounds get on the scoreboard here before the half and be able to push the game a little bit more in the second half. So as we approaching halftime, 43rd minute, 1-0 Orlando City over Pittsburgh Riverhounds at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And there's a good entry pass to Kevin Kerr. Kevin, though, can't get it around, has to go back to Mike Green. All right, to Dahlman. He is tackled by Luke Bowden, who's really done a very effective job on Matty Dahlman so far. Made it very difficult for him. There's Anthony Obadiah, but again, right away challenged by Alvarez as soon as Kerr and again, here's another one, Kerr challenged right away, but he gets that one off to Jose Angola, but gets that, but Seren challenges right away. So we see Seren, we see Bienyu, Alvarez, they will push up all the time on when Kerr or when Obadiah get the ball, with Poulos sort of sitting underneath them in front of the two center backs. So really and here's Dennis Chin, who is coming forward. And Kevin Molino chases from his midfield from outside spot. But really, we see the Orlando City really and the Riverhounds really playing very similar systems, and with one holding, four in the midfield, and then one up top, Chin for Orlando City, Angulo for the Riverhounds. But both of them push their outside midfielders forward. Certainly with Molina, we'll see a little more. 1 minute of stoppage time. They've just called, so we're looking for see if the Riverhounds can pull something here together for the last minute of play. But this is an Orlando ball, so we'll see. And I'm sure they're thinking the same thing. Can we get one more before the half? Again, Riverhounds take possession. Oh, great ball from Robbie Vincent. He does find Nguyen behind. I think that was Turner out there, who does a nice recovery on him, but a great ball by Robbie Vincent. There's Matty Dahlman. Soars high into the air on that one, but that's going to go over top. So great ball by Robbie Vincent. Did find Joseph Nguyen behind Turner out on the right back, but Turner has a nice recovery. So close to halftime here. We're approaching halftime between the Riverhounds and Orlando City. Good battle with Obadiah and with Seren. Obadiah wins this one. Little pull back to Andrew Marshall. He's going to swing it all the way over to Danny Earls, to the Riverhounds, who have one more attack in the last 30 seconds or so. But no, not a good one there. A little bit too close proximity between Danny Earls and Jose Nguyenas. We have 2 balls out in the field. And Kerr's going to knock that back to Vincent. Tries to look to swing it. He does. To Mike Green out here at the right back. And I think the Hounds was, and there's the whistle for halftime. So, very tight contest between Orlando City and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Certainly a couple opportunities for both, but the Orlando City was able to capitalize on a nice little ball back to Yudani Alvarez, who was able to chip it over Michael Lish's head for the goal. And at halftime, it's Orlando City 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. Stay with us. We'll be back in after halftime, and we'll see you in a few minutes for the start of the second half. Looking forward to a great half of action here on USL Pro on YouTube. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.
Fans, please turn your attention to midfield as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the Namaqualand Woodlands Resort will now recognize 3 amazing individuals who have been nominated for tonight's grand prize and title of Soccer Mom of the Berg. In its second year, the Soccer Mom of the Berg contest brought in a number of creative entries from children and husbands who nominated their respective moms for this honorary title. The Riverhound staff selected 3 entries as finalists for the contest and used their social media platforms to allow you, our supporters, to vote for the 2014 Soccer Mom of the Berg. Each of these women has sacrificed their time and energy for what matters most to them, their children. So join us in a big round of applause for our finalists. Let's say hello to Kelly Cunningham. As a mother of 2, Kelly is a hardworking individual who goes the extra miles to support her family. She works 6 jobs and still manages to drive her children around to soccer practices as well as keeping up with all of the housework. And next is Amy Lanoski. Amy is a mother of 2 and is a huge supporter of her children's interests. Having played soccer at the collegiate level, Amy enjoys sharing her soccer talents with her children as a coach and as their #1 fan. And finally, Debbie Pella. As a mother of 4 girls, Debbie has spent the last 10 years defining what a soccer mom is all about. She has witnessed 22 different soccer teams and has traveled countless hours to more than 100 soccer tournaments across the country. Whether a winless season or a national championship, Debbie is always there to congratulate her daughters on a job well done. Our 3 finalists will all be receiving gift baskets comprised of items from DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh Green Tree, Giant Eagle, and Hard Rock Cafe. Our grand prize winner, the soccer mom of the Berg, will be receiving a prize package from Nemacolin Woodlands Resort, including 2 nights, luxurious accommodations at Nemacolin Woodlands with spa treatments for 2. Thank you to Nemacolin for providing this incredible prize package. And ladies and gentlemen, our grand prize winner of the 2014 Soccer Mom of the Berg contest, sponsored by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort, is Debbie Pella. Thank you all ladies very much for participating. And congratulations all of you.
Junior reporter, and I'm here with Andrew Marshall. So Andrew, what was your favorite subject in school?
Favorite subject in school was probably science, because I like doing experiments and using the Bunsen burner and all that sort of stuff and growing plants. I thought that was fun.
Which team in the world is your favorite besides
Good question. My favorite team in the world is probably Manchester United over in England.
What was your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Ooh, give me a curveball there. Favorite flavor of ice cream? It's kind of boring, but it's vanilla. I don't know, I really like it.
What's your most embarrassing moment in your career?
Ooh, geez, you're gonna make me think about that, right? There's a few, unfortunately. I remember one time we were down in Puerto Rico. You know where that is? And we were playing a game, and the other team crossed the ball from out wide, and I went to try to head it to get away from our goal, but it went off the wrong side of my head, and I headed right into our own goal.
Would you like to talk about your dad's bodybuilding career?
Oh, so that's the question someone gave you. Who Kevin Kerr is? He's one of our teammates. He's the guy from Scotland. He talks really funny, kind of like Nico. Yeah. So we were supposed to send a picture into the Riverhounds about our dad, and I didn't do it. I didn't have any good pictures. Kevin went online and found a really silly picture with a boy that looked like me, a lady that looked like maybe my mom when we were all younger, and then a dad who had his shirt off and he was tan and he looked like a bodybuilder. He was posing like that. And I didn't know he sent that in. So they were going to put it up on that big screen, thinking that it was my dad. He was going to be in there with us just standing in the background of my dad's bodybuilder picture. Pretty silly.
Welcome back, everyone, to Highmark Stadium. I'm Gene Klein, and this is the USL Pro contest between Orlando City and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Orlando City is having the lead here at halftime, 1-0 over the Riverhounds, thanks to a 14th minute goal by Kevin Molino off an assist from Dennis Chin. And we apologize to you viewers in the first half because I think I had that one wrong during the first half. Credit that with your Danny Alvarez, but we were kind of at a tough angle to see that one, so apologize again. The goal was on Molino, assist from Dennis Chin, and the two leading scorers of the from Orlando City have combined to provide the goal for Orlando City. Other than that, though, very even contest in the first half. Shots were 6-4 in favor of Orlando. Both teams had 2 corners. And Miguel Gellardo for Orlando had 2 saves. For Mike Lish had 1 for the Riverhounds, as both teams here are lined up, awaiting the kickoff of this contest as we start the second half. Highmark Stadium, clear night, cool night in the city of Pittsburgh as the kickoff, and there we are. Orlando will come out against the Riverhounds. We'll check for any changes for you. I don't think there's any substitutions.
Entering the game for Orlando,
there is one.
Number 23 defender Justin Clark, who's in for number 22 Rob Valentino.
So Justin Clark in for Rob Valentino for Orlando City. Don't know if that was if any kind of tactical change or if Coach Adrian Heath trying to save some legs for Valentino, as they have another return match tomorrow in Rochester. So they have to get on the bus right after this one and head up to lovely upstate New York to play Rochester Rhinos at Salem Stadium. And he will step in there. Number 23, Justin Clark. Florida college player, played at Rollins College. And here come Orlando City taken away there. And cleared down for the Orlando knocked back. And the Riverhounds come out. Riverhounds in gold tonight, going right to left this second half. Orlando in the familiar purple and white, going left to right on your screen. So as we're saying, the first half, very close contest, but certainly a good goal taken by Molino. A little bit of a question, the rollback, the Hounds were coming out of the back, and ball played into Dennis Chin, who had a nice little rollback to Molino, who was coming forward from the right side, and that he sliced between Andrew Marshall and Danny Earls. Jumped up to collect the ball off his chest. A little bit of question from the Hounds as far as a handball, but waved off, and showed great composure to put the ball over Michael Lish into the back of the net. And that's the only score and really the best opportunity for both teams. A couple others. The best opportunity for the Riverhounds came in the early moments of the game when Matty Dolman whipped in a free kick and Joseph Nguyen flicked it off his head where Gellardo almost cut off his line, but brilliantly tipped that one over. And so that was the best opportunity for the Riverhounds. And there's Danny Earls working out too. Robbie Vincent tries to find Joseph Nguyen, but a little bit off his feet. And Orlando City will come out. Moving it forward with Brad Rusin. Trying to find that one, just kicked away by Andrew Marshall. Hounds, again, playing with a 4-4-2, really kind of a 4-1-4-1, I would think. With Earls, Flunder, Marshall, Green in the back, Anthony Obadiah in the center, holding in front of them with Robbie Vincent, Kevin Kerr, Joseph Nguyen, Matty Dahlman in the midfield, and last year's 2013 MVP, Jose Angulo, up front. The Orlando City in very similar formation with Bowden Rusin. Of course, Justin Clark has come on for Rob Valentino at center back. Tyler Turner at the right back. Anthony Poulos holding in front of them with Bengue, Alvarez, Seren, Molino, and Dennis Chin doing a lot of work up top. But we see Molino, we see Bengue really, really pushing forward an awful lot to really becomes really a 4-3-3 for Orlando. So Riverhounds have to get something going a little bit, and they're not going to get anything going with a harmless ball out of bounds there. And I think the Hounds are going to have to start knocking around and picking up their speed of play a little bit. Ball moving a little bit too slow. It allows Orlando to sit in, and they have shown a great deal of organization in the midfield. The Riverhounds have had a difficult time trying to find entry balls like that one into Jose Angulo. That's cleared away by Orlando. Robbie Vincent tries to maintain possession. He does to Danny Earls. Still looking for someone inside. He's going to run with that, and that's a tackle by Molino, and that's going to be a foul for the Riverhounds. So Danny Earls tried to take it on his own that time, looking for some sort of entry ball, could not find one, and he's fouled hard by Kevin Molino. The goal scorer this evening, that was his 5th goal of the season, Molino. And Matty Dahlman, the ever-dangerous Matty Dahlman, will take this free kick, as he's taken just about every free kick this evening for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And Orlando and Molino saying, no, it was 6 inches this way, referee. So I don't think Matty Dahlman is too worried about it one way or the other. He has an angle he wants, and he's certainly going to try to whip in an in-swinger. He's looking for Nguyen. Look for Marshall on the back post, but that's cleared away. And here's Molino, and there's going to be a foul on Dahlman at midfield. And as Madigan, I think the card is at, and I think we're going to see a booking here with Matty Dahlman. I believe that is the first booking of the evening. Yes. So yellow card, Matty Dahlman book as the rain's coming down here at Highmark Stadium. And it is a little bit of pouring as we see the crowds kind of scatter. There's no protection here at Highmark. So fortunately they got all the halftime festivities in. And we'll see. I'm sure the players will have a little difficulty dealing with this as the long ball goes in. And there's Dennis Chin trying to find that. He stood up by Sterling Thunder. Good serve there by Molino and well off his line, and handles that very nicely in the wet weather was Michael Lish for the Riverhounds. As Orlando builds this out with Seren, and he's going to find Turner's come up in the right back spot. He hasn't been there long. Oh! And good ball from Turner, who came flying up from his right back spot. And I believe that was Alvarez who came through there. Yes, I believe you're Donnie Alvarez who came through, come flying up through the midfield. And you can see the water coming down pretty good. A little splash there when Nguyen picked up that ball. So it's coming down pretty heavy right now. But the players are doing a very good job of keeping it on the table. There's a hard tackle by Mike Green on Chin. Molino can't control down, finally does. Oh, it's going to, no, he did not control. I don't think Orlando agreed with that one. But it's going to be a throw in for the Riverhounds, and Robbie Vincent going to find Kevin Kerr, who's going to swing it all the way over to Mike Green and back to Kevin Kerr with a little bit of space. And he tries to find Joseph Nguyen inside, but it's knocked out. But the Riverhounds are going to retain possession. Here's a good serve coming in, looking for Angulo, and that's knocked out. Kerr searching for it again, but now the game's getting a little bit stretched here in in the rainy weather as both sides going a little bit end to end. Very compact the first half. And there's one that's going. Oh, and here's Molino coming back. Riverhounds caught sleeping a little bit. I think they're waiting for a whistle. And lucky Dennis Chin was not really in a position to get that as that ball came all the way over to Kevin Molino, and he put that across. And everyone kind of standing, watching that one. So Mike Lish is pointing out a few things to his defenders to try to get them alert on that one. So, a little bit more, again, we started to say the Riverhounds are going to have to pick up their speed of play because the Orlando was quite content to drop to midfield and keep their lines very tight, drop back a little bit, and then again, deny as much as they could into to Jose. There's a good one. Finally, they find Jose into his feet, and they're going to knock that one out to Robbie Vincent. Oh, good ball in. Danny Earls rips one. All right, and still cleared out. Again, it gets a second ball, rips one right at Gilardo. And he was only able to parry that one back out, and he got back out to Danny Earls. Here's another look at it with there's the rip right there. It comes back, and Earls tries to head out the rebound, but that is, again, cleared away by Orlando. So, again, the game being becoming a little bit faster, and the Hounds are probably, I am sure, that Justin Evans at halftime said, look, boys, we have to move this thing a little bit faster. We have to get the game going. We have to try to break them down, and we have to be a little bit more mobile. And the movement, when we saw some movement in the first half, the Riverhounds looked dangerous. And I think it needs that nobility from Dahlman, from Vincent, from Nguyen, from Kevin Kerr to find the proper lanes and to get off the ball a little bit. Orlando, on the other hand, they're certainly with a 1-0 lead, are going to be content to maintain possession, and when they can, counter, I'm sure, with Chin and particularly Molino up front. And there's going to be a foul by Andrew Marshall. You still see the rain coming down at a pretty nice pace, blowing through. It's been cloudy and overcast, and they've been predicting storms. And here's a touch. Oh, out. There's Molino. He's going to have a rip. Oh, and just over top as Molino turned that with the left foot. And you can see there's a good shot of the rain just pouring down here in Pittsburgh at Highmark Stadium. We're in the 57th minute, 1-0 Orlando City over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds at this USL Pro contest. Hounds looking for their first win, and Orlando looking to remain undefeated. Both teams at opposite ends of the table, but still an extremely competitive game. Both teams very, very close on the field. As we see Robbie Vincent lose that one a little bit. And again, they're going to find Darwin Seren. Oh, and there's another entanglement. Molino has gone down again. Anthony Obadiah. And he say, hey, look, it's okay. But another yellow card for the Riverhounds to Obadiah. So that's a second one this half. Matty Dahlman picking one up in the 52nd minute. And now Obadiah in the 58th minute. Darwin Seren, he's going to find Turner. Back to Molino. Back to Seren. In the middle to Alvarez. Tries to find Chin in. That's broken up nicely by Obadiah. All right, there's Darwin Seren. He knocks at Danny Earls. Clears that away for the Riverhounds. Michael Lish pushes his backs out a little bit. Tries to get them organized. Joe's Nguyen comes back to win that one. And to Robbie Vincent. Danny Earls tries to turn that up, but that is going to be blocked and won very nicely by Seren. Hard tackle on Obadiah. Very hard tackle. And I think that he's going to be booked as we see that one. Oh, that's a tough one, man. Studs up. I mean, I think he's fortunate and lucky that is only a yellow because studs were up and went right into him on that one. So Darwin Seren, the booking for Orlando in the 59th minute.
following groups to this evening's game. The Bertner birthday.
And still Riverhounds training staff still checking out
SV North Girls Soccer.
Anthony Obadiah.
Sharon Spanish Club.
It's A.J. Cubison, the trainer, trying to, and referee saying we have to get him off the field or we're going to administer anything to him. Hopefully Anthony can continue, but that was a hard studs-up tackle by Seren. Went right through Obadiah, and that's how a guy can get have a season end, and it does not look like he's going to be able to continue. And the Riverhounds again playing out of the back, and we'll see who Coach Justin Evans is going to bring on in place of Anthony Obadiah. He is limping pretty hard, so that's a tough one. That is a very difficult loss for the Riverhounds, and a very difficult tackle. I mean, Obadiah has been doing extremely well the last several games. Really has done a terrific job in the midfield. He has been superb at that holding midfield spot. And it might force a few tactical changes, because I don't think, the Hounds have anyone who plays quite the way Obadiah does. Certainly we have a number of very talented guys on the bench that are quite capable of coming in, though, and playing that position, including last year's player there, Alfonso Montagavan, and I would suspect that he would be the substitute. And I see him at midfield now, so it looks like Alfonso Montagavan will come on for Anthony Obadiah. So, Alfonso, terrific performer last year, very consistent, played most of the minutes there at that spot. But
Alfonso Montagavan, entering for Anthony Obadiah,
and Obadiah, like I said, just really Obadiah maybe a little bit more defensive than Alfonso, and has seen most of the time there, but this year. But Alfonso is an extremely talented player, and I'm sure he's going to relish these minutes and look to get out there. So Alfonso comes on in the 60th minute for Anthony Obadiah. And here's a free kick for Matty Dahlman. There's another foul against Orlando. Referee's going to have a word again. A lot of pushing and tugging in the box this game. Players trying to get away. There's a good serve. Cleared away, though. Couldn't get it past the first defender. And here's a quick counter to Dennis Chin. He's going to take it up. He's going to go one-on-one with Mike Green. Looks for a little bit of support. And that's Luke Bowden, the left back, who's going to come forward for Orlando City. Riverhounds back very quickly, though, very nicely off that set piece. Did well to get back collectively. So, again, still 1-0, Orlando City over the Riverhounds. 63rd minute at Highmark Stadium. Here's Turner coming out from his right back spot. Nice little ball forward, cleared away by Flunder. And Alfonso Montagavan gets his first touch, plays it out wide to Kevin Kerr. And again, now they find Fonz, who keeps the ball moving. Alfonso very, very good at continuing the play, find the play, quick with his feet, good distributor of the ball, and it will be. We're going to need him to do that, and we're going to need him to find some players up front, like Jose, and look a little bit forward. Because again, Orlando City very difficult to break down, and the Hounds are going to have to move it quickly to do that and try to find some passes into Jose and Gulo, as I see him motioning, that he wants it, he's ready. And there has to be a foul on Kevin Kerr by Tyler Turner. And that will be another dangerous set piece. And there's another booking for Turner on that one. So a yellow card for Turner in the 64th minute. And this will be a free kick taken by Matty Dahlman. And we'll see if the Hounds, these have been very dangerous. Wet ball, great in swinger. Oh, just off. Jose Angola went up high with Bowden for that one, and that's going to be go off for a corner kick, for a goal kick, pardon me. And there you see it, Gilardo come flying out, but Jose just could not direct that. Couldn't get on top of that one to direct it towards goal, and it flicks off his head for across the end line for a goal kick. There's Justin Clark, the substitute, in for Rob Valentino to start the second half for Orlando. 65th minute, 1-0, Orlando over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Riverhounds have been here's a good serve by Bowden in to Chin, cleared away by Earls. Oh, and a good take by Bengue for Orlando, as that one goes over top. And Mike Lish is going to play that one quickly. Back to Matty Dahlman, and he's going to find Alfonso's going to play it in. And Dahlman, nice little serve in. Jose Nguyen coming through. He's looking for a foul, but I don't think he's going to get anything with that one. The Hounds are going to have to, at some particular point, they're going to have to come up a little bit higher, start to take away a little bit of the play from Orlando. And there's one that's cleared up, but that was out of bounds before it was knocked up the field by Matt Dahlman for the Riverhounds. So throw in for Orlando on the far side, the river side of Highmark Stadium. And here's a goal kick that looks as Andrew Marshall plays that one nicely off of, I believe that was Bowden over there for Orlando. And Marshall's going to come and take that one off as we see the replay. And that was Bowden, and that's going to be off a goal kick for Mike Lish. You're watching USL Pro on YouTube. Every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Riverhounds YouTube channel today.
USLProSoccer.com. Make sure to follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all those latest updates.
Orlando holding very tight, again, staying very organized and very impressively organized in the midfield. But you still see, a lot of attacking. Oh, there's Dennis Chin, tough one here. Oh, well done by Mike Lish, coming off his line very, very quickly. Danny Euro had, just trying to clear that away and played it unintentionally to Mike Lish. He's trying to get a piece of that. Dennis Chin was all over him on that one. As we see Alvarez trying to find Bowden looking forward. So, and here's Robbie Vincent. He has a long one in there, but that's going to be way too far. Not enough weight on that one to slow it down for Nguyen or for Jose Angola. And we've seen Joseph pushing up a lot higher now than maybe in the second half. He's going to have to get a little bit more activity. We're going to need him to push. We need him to be a little bit more dangerous as the Riverhounds have to find a way to stretch these back four and break them down. I think both Jose and Joseph, though, are looking for a little better service, perhaps to their feet, where they can run at some defenders, and they haven't had that opportunity to do that. And I think a lot of that, the credit to that, has to go to Orlando, who has, made it difficult for our midfielders to have any sort of lane into the forwards. And truthfully, I mean, the Hounds have done the same thing for Orlando. I mean, the main balls that Dennis Chin has seen has sort of been ones that he's been running onto. But that's how they like to play him for sure, because terrific wheels up front, very quick, a lot of energy, and not afraid to chase anything down. And as he does right there with Robbie Vincent, who plays up, and that's taken nicely out of there by Brad Roosen. And there's Darwin Seren with the yellow guard, which pushed Obadiah out of the game. Oh, great ball across, and not a good rollback. great ball from Kevin Molino, and tried to find Bowden, and he played it back right to the Riverhounds. And there's a foul on the far side with Kevin Kerr, and another yellow. This one issued to Yordi Alvarez as he comes over and takes out Kevin Kerr. That yellow in the 69th minute. So that's the 1-2 third yellow I think, for Orlando. A couple substitutions coming on now for the Riverhounds. It looks like Jason Johnson and Seth Diabaka.
Number 14, Seth Diabaka, entering for number 13, Joseph Wenya. And number 7, Jason Johnson, entering for number 18, Jose Angulo.
So Jason Johnson and Seth Diabaka for Nguyen and for Jose Angulo. Not really unexpected there. I think Justin Evans would be happy that he got almost 70 minutes out of Jose, who has had take care of some personal issues and has not had a few weeks off, so that's pretty good for him. Again, trying to maybe get a little bit of spark with Jason Johnson. Jason Johnson, one of the loanies from Houston Dynamo, and man has all the tools in the world. Let's hope that he can find a way to get a goal here. Seth Diabaka, Georgetown product, and Seth, veteran Riverhound player, very technical, very clever, and I'm sure what Coach Evans is saying is that maybe Seth has the kind of technical ability that and the composure up there in tight spaces that perhaps can split their backs, find JJ for some space, or Dahlman or whoever. I mean, because certainly Seth is a guy comfortable with the ball as we see him there, and he maintains possession to Danny Earls. And here's Seth right on the ball right from the beginning. Nice ball to Danny Earls, but well won there by Anthony Poulos, who's done a terrific job for in the midfield for Orlando. And here comes Orlando coming forward. Oh, go. Good clearance by Marshall as Bengu tried to play that one across. Here's Rob Vincent. And Bowden was going to win that one for Orlando. Orlando will come out, and they're going to start pushing some guys forward a little bit as we see Turner going forward here. But Molino slows it back. Hard slide there from Seth Diabaka on Seren, who's working on a yellow card for his pretty nasty tackle on Anthony Obadai. And again, maybe lucky he's still on the pitch after that tackle, because Obadiah is not. So as Jason Johnson chases the ball, and that's an interesting back pass, and that's an interesting touch by Gilardo in front of the goal, showing some veteran composure. And there's a good interception by Matty Dahlman, flicked it to Jason, but nothing's happening there. A lot of sliding, getting a little bit chippy at the moment. 73rd minute, Orlando City 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. And there's a good ball into Robbie Vincent. He's going to, can he have that? Bring that down. Gilardo on the save for the Hounds. Johnson takes it for the Hounds, and he can't turn, and that's blocked by Orlando as they try to find a long one up to number 11, Corey Herzog, who's come on for Dennis Chin. Herzog, a local product, Penn State kid. And there's great ball from Seth Diabaka to Jason Johnson. And there's a shot and a save. Got to be a corner. Are they calling a penalty? Yes. Yellow card against Gilardo. PK for the Riverhounds. PK for the Riverhounds. It looks like Robbie Vince is going to step up. So huge moment for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds against Orlando City in the 74th minute. Yellow card, I believe, was issued to Gilardo. Watch that one again. It was a shot taken by the Hounds. It was deflected down. Here it is again. Great ball from C. Diabaka. All right. Scramble with Jason Johnson and Roussin. Gilardo's putting his hand up. And they're calling the foul, I think. And ball comes back out. I think they're calling the foul on Brad Roussin on the PK. And now the center official is conferring with his referee assistant. Did he have a different view of this? He's waving the players away. Of course, Gilardo and Roussin were very unhappy with all this, and I think Gilardo ends up getting a yellow out of this. Now what is the call? Referee's trying to sort this one out. He's putting it down. Are they going to call a drop ball? I believe they're calling a drop ball, so they're saying that Roussin and JJ were all tangled up, and it was sort of a double foul is the only thing I can figure out of this. They're calling a double foul on both of them. Were scrambling with each other. Neither bench is happy. Well, I mean, certainly Orlando's a lot happier than the Riverhounds, who thought for sure that we had a chance at the tying goal. The referee's assistant on this near side getting an earful from the Riverhound bench. And it is going to be a drop ball in the box. Boy, a very rare sight. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen one of these, inside, especially inside the box. So they're obviously calling a double foul. The referee's assistant on the far side waved off the PK, conferred with the center official, and it appeared said that they both fouled each other, and it's going to be a drop ball. So here we go. Restart it this way. And here's Robbie Vincent with it. And the Riverhounds can maintain the pressure. Can they keep the momentum going? 77th minute. And Marshall back to Lish. So still 1-0. Riverhounds thought that they had the PK, did not. Waved off after both officials discussed that. And now we have a corner for Orlando. As we look at Justin Evans, who's got to be eating him up inside watching that one. He thought he had an opportunity to tie the game with a penalty kick, and it was taken away by the referee assistant. Some sort of discussion, and it goes to the drop ball. Now, corner kick for Orlando. As we say, it looks like Bengue will take it for them, as that's played out by Sterling Flunder with a battle with Curry Herzog, for Orlando. Bengue will take the free kick. Another substitution for Orlando. Mikey Lopez will come in for Darren Saran as we play the corner. Oh, there's a dangerous one, but that's cleared away. So Lopez on for Darren Seren in the 79th minute. And Orlando's still maintaining. Turner's going to knock that one in, and that's going to be easily handled by Mike Lish for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So very, very tight contest here. 1-0 Orlando over the Riverhounds. 80th minute. Very controversially, a call that appeared to be that was first called by the referee, a foul on Brad Rusin against Jason Johnson of the Riverhounds. But then after a conference with the referee assistant on the far side, they said that both players had fouled, is what it appears to be, and now it is, and that the attempt at the PK, which Robbie Vincent was lined up for, was taken away. Here's Kevin Molino. He turns the corner on Danny Earls. Well done there, and I don't think he's going to get that call, Molino, and that's going to be a goal kick for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So I think everybody in this stadium and this again, really good crowd here for the Riverhounds. Oh, and here goes Herzog. He gets behind Earls. He's looking for somebody. He's going to try to play it across. Oh, and all the way across the goal. But well done by Michael Lish. Held his ground very well there. Stood him up, and had the angle cut off. And, Herzog really had nowhere to put that one. If someone's running on the back post, which they weren't, then they had to tap in. But Mike Lish forced him to go the only place he could. And that resulted in just merely going past the post. But he really shut that out. He really cut that off well. But here comes another corner for Orlando.
285. Again, the winning ticket number for tonight's Nemacolin raffle, number 289.
Corner kick for Orlando.
Congratulations.
Both teams have been dangerous on these. There's a good ball. Lish comes in. Great punch by Mike Lish, taking that off a few players' heads, really. And they play that out. Well done by Johnson, who chests it down to Robbie Vincent, and they're coming out on the left side to Jason Johnson. He's still with the ball. He's still moving with it. And back a little bit, Mikey Lopez, I believe, knocked that away for Orlando. But good counterattack for the Riverhounds. Sterling Flunder now recovers. The Hounds starting to put some pressure on. Got to get getting close to desperation time. Last 10 minutes of play, or 8 minutes, I guess, as we approach the 83rd minute. Things are getting a little bit tense as we just now 8 minutes to go in regulation. So we'll see if the Riverhounds are going to make any more moves. Justin Evans already substituted Jose Angulo and Joseph Nguyen with Ceci Diabaka and Jason Johnson. The Orlando City has made a number of substitutions, and their big one is they've taken putting Herzog up top for Chin. So both teams have tried to get a little more extra spark, get some new wheels up top, and try to go against maybe some tired defenders. So we'll see how this works. And again, Orlando, I'm sure they're going to, Gilardo, very, very patient, if not complacent on the ball. As a couple times he's held on to it the very, very last second. And Orlando looking to continue doing a good job there with some good possession that time. Earls in a battle with Molino. Adrian Heath not happy with what was going on with that one. Barking at the referee. I think they want. And here's another substitution coming on for Orlando City. We'll see who they're substituting for. Number 27, Brian Spann. is going to, looks like he's coming on for Kevin Molino. Yep. So Brian Spann for Kevin Molino in the 84th minute.
Brian Spann, who's entering for number 18, Kevin Molino.
So 84th minute, Brian Spann for Kevin Molino. So Adrian Heath doing his, trying to get as many, trying to make as many substitutions as he can. I'm sure for a tactical reason, but also the fact that they got another game tomorrow. So he has to try to save a few legs. And also to the fact that, they're not going to have much of a drop-off with their bench, I'm sure. Mike Lynch comes way out for that one. And he's going to go out wide to Matty Dahlman. 85th minute, 1-0 Orlando over Pittsburgh at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in this USL Pro contest with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Orlando City. You're watching USLProSoccer.com, score, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. And also visit the USL Pro fan page. Oh, good ball. And here's the substitute wide for its span. And he did not connect on that one. Visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro and follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates as we enter the closing minutes of this match between first place Orlando and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. As Orlando trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead, and the Riverhounds trying to this contest, get a goal and get a point, and then go for a win from there. But they have to get one to tie it up, and Orlando has been very difficult to break down in the back. And here's the Hounds moving forward again with the substitute Jason Johnson coming on. That ball is served in by Matty Dahlman, looking for a foul. He's not going to get it.
Fans, please make sure to stay.
And that's going to be a throw in for the Riverhounds.
Session on the field with Riverhounds players and coaches.
Cecilia Diabaka, second half sub, playing on. Danny Earl, a little step over, tries to, takes a look to Michael Lish, no one there, tries to step and spin, gets it back to Robbie Vincent. Alfonso Montagavan on for Anthony Obadiah. Great ball all the way over, switches play, switches the field and point of attack to Matty Dahlman. Dahlman looking, finds C.D. Ibaka, but that's going to be cleared away by Orlando. Long ball down for the Riverhounds. The Riverhounds are putting, you can see a lot more urgency in their play as we're entering the closing moments of this contest. 1-0 Orlando holding on to a lead. Long ball up for Jason Johnson. That's going to be flicked out, and I believe it's going to be out for a corner kick. And that's going to flick off for a corner kick. And so another dangerous opportunity for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. As we see Gilardo get his defenders organized, try to have the proper matchups. We're going to see Matty Dahlman undoubtedly whipping in a dangerous in-swing, a very, very dangerous that. And here it comes, but that one's going to go far post as they try to find Mike Green. He tries to bring it back across. Here comes Robbie Vincent on a shot, just wide for the Riverhounds. That was a good opportunity, and I'm sure Robbie would like to have that one back for the Hounds. So they went far that time over to Greeny, who knocked it back well done to Mike Green, who brings it down. It comes a little bit of deflection, and Robbie Vincent has a good go, but just right. And Gilardo looked frozen to his line there. Nike is a sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. 1-0 Orlando over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And we see and there's Luke Bowden for, collecting for, but that ball is taken away by Andrew Marshall. And there's Bengue for Orlando. He plays that one out of bounds as Bowden pushes up. Orlando has not been shy about pushing their outside backs forward and getting them a little bit into the attack, even clinging to a one-goal lead. The Hounds are really starting to push some people forward now with, of course, Johnson, C.D. Ibaka, Robbie Vincent, I'm sure Matty Dahlman is really looking to get forward, trying to find some way to get the tying goal. Riverhounds will be back in action this coming Wednesday in the U.S. Open Cup. That great competition starts up here next week. It's actually started for the amateurs, but it's for the USL Pro. It will start this coming Wednesday. Looking forward to that competition. Great tackle by Alfonso Montegavan. Here's Mike Green. Good entry ball. Oh, and the flag goes up. Finally, we had an entry ball in front, and the flag went up. Orlando just stepped a little bit ahead of C.D. Ibaka. And I don't think Seth agreed with that one. That's tested down by Herzog to Bengue. He plays Herzog. That has to be, and the flag is up on that one. I thought that was off, and the flag goes up to the referee assistant here on the near side, blows Herzog off, and C.D. Ibaka plays out to Danny Earls. That tries to find Robbie Vincent, and that was broken up by Orlando.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 6 minutes of extra stoppage time.
So we just added 6 minutes of added time. So plenty of time for the Riverhounds to try to find a goal and get back and get back into this competition and at least come out of here with a point. I think that would be a positive step for the Hounds. Orlando, I'm sure, just going to try to hold on to this and close this one out in the last 6 minutes. Get out of here with 3, and then go up to Rochester after the game. The Hounds are going to really starting to push some people forward. We see Kerr, we see Johnson, C.D. Ibaka, all these guys trying to push forward. I'd like to see, and here's Robbie Vincent, who's had a great go. He finds Dahlman. Oh. And handball on Matty Dahlman. So Robbie Vincent done a terrific job on the left side. He has found his way around Tyler Turner a couple times, and almost the Riverhounds have created some great opportunities there and almost a couple goals there. Of course, that started the controversial move for the PK that didn't happen because Vincent stepped around on the left side. He was looking for Jason Johnson coming across, and a little bit of a disagreement of who fouled who. As both Rusin and JJ were tied up with that one. So, and that time it was a Matty Dahlman handball. There's a header well won by Alfonso Montegavan to Matt Dahlman. He's looking for Kevin Kerr, who's making that run down to the right corner. C.D. Ibaka was in the box, but Kevin could not get it across to him. And there has to be an offside to Herzog again as the Hounds are playing really high line now. They have no choice but to do that and really pushing their backs up. And of course, Orlando content to leave Herzog up alone and maybe catch them for the second goal. But Hounds stepped up. Herzog did not read it, and it's offsides. Hounds are going to have to get going here. 92 minutes in, 93rd minute. Here's a long one in. Taken by Gilardo as he tried to find Alfonso Montegavan pushing forward from the midfield. So we see a lot of the midfielders pushing forward, trying to find something. And here's Sterling Flunder, knocks that one away. Andrew Marshall looking for someone to play. He's going to be chased down by Herzog. He's going to play up. He's going to play behind. Kevin Kerr, that has to be a trip. Referee blows the whistle, and another yellow card. To Orlando. And this will be a free kick. Long one in. There's Johnson. Headed down and headed off. Of Orlando, and it's going to be another corner for the Hounds. I think that was, as we see it there, there's the replay, headed, and it might have been Clark. He didn't know what to do with that one, and there's one out. And Orlando is going to have a goal kick, bringing that one out after another service and another battle and some confusion into the box. 94th minute, so 4 minutes into extra time. The referee has indicated minimum of 6 stoppage time minutes. So still a couple minutes left for the Hounds to try to find something. Gilardo kicks that one out of bounds, so the Hounds will retain possession and try to push it forward. As we see Andrew Marshall going forward a little bit, try to get him up top. He's very dangerous in the air. Riverhounds really will now be with 3 in the back. Alfonso and the Hounds will get a free kick on the far side. Dahlman to take. Hounds pushing everybody up. Michael Lish is all the way to midfield, the only one back for the Riverhounds. This could be the last chance. Dahlman, big serve in. Big battle, clear header! Saved by Gilardo. Clear header by the Riverhounds. Great serve, great ball by Matty Dahlman. And I believe, yes, it was Alfonso Montegavan and the veteran goalkeeper, Gilardo. Here's another corner, flicked away by Orlando. Hounds still keeping the pressure on. Here's Robbie Vincent. He's going to have a go. Blocked by Orlando. So great save, game saver by Gilardo there as he got down on it with his left hand and turned that around the post as Montegavan got on the end of that Dahlman serve. Here's one, tries an overhead kick. Marshall cleared away. That's coming back. Kevin Kerr shot, blocked again. Oh, and here's a breakaway for Orlando. It's nobody but Michael Lish, and he misses. Herzog. Lish did well there, stood him up. Herzog tried to bend it around him, could not. Closing seconds, can't be much time left. We're in the 96th minute. Here's a long ball up. That's served on. Here comes Andrew Marshall. Shot wide again. Just off to the left. Just off to the left of Gilardo's goal, and it looked like it went off the left side of Marshall's boot. Yes, and he steps on Ruson's foot, and and he's limping a little bit. He might have turned an ankle on that one because it looked like he stepped on his foot on the follow through after the shot. And that's the game. There's the whistle, and this one is ended in favor of Orlando City. 1-0 in favor of Orlando City. Again, a tough one for the Riverhounds, who again have a tough, as we see Coach Justin Evans is asking for an explanation from Orlando City. He wants to know what happened on this controversial PK that didn't occur. So really, and again, difficult one. Hard-fought game, hard-fought one for both the Riverhounds and for Orlando. Congratulations to Orlando on a well-organized, well-prepared win. They did well. They got the goal. But I guess the Riverhounds are concerned because they thought they had a PK at about the late in the game at about the 77th minute when there was a ball taken by Rob Vincent, put across, and a bit of a controversy. So Justin Evans and other Riverhounds have asked the referee for an explanation on that one. So tough one for the game. Again, Riverhounds are going to lose this one to Orlando City. Congratulations to Orlando City on the win. They stay undefeated and will stay, of course, in first place in USL Pro. Riverhounds still will be looking for their first win in USL Pro when they will return home again to Rochester next week. Before that, an Open Cup game on Wednesday. We'll hope all the Pittsburgh fans will turn out for that Open Cup game. So from Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hope you enjoyed this very, very exciting matchup between Orlando City and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. I'm Gene Klein, and we hope to see you again next Wednesday for the U.S. Open Cup game. Thank you, and have a great evening.